The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Black Hawk Hauling, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, Wags Food and Culture, Moe's Pizza, The Green Law Firm, Personal Injury Attorney, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I am your host, JB, the sports guy. We got a good show for you all. Before we get to our special guest, I'm joined by my co-host. You catch him on CrescentCitySports.com, the one, the only, VK Jones. What's going on, VK?
What's going on, everybody? Like, share, tag, and subscribe to the Hash It Out Show. All social media platforms. Log on to the hashitoutshow.com. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We're still focusing on our past state champions this year in hoops, and we have another big guest tonight.
We most certainly do. This guy led the Marksville Tigers to a state championship in basketball this season. He's joining us here tonight. Head coach of the Marksville Tigers boys basketball team, the one and only Coach Alex Perkins. Coach Perkins, thank you for joining us. And how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just getting in a little while ago. We've been picking up workouts this week, so we right back at it.
Oh, y'all staying busy. Already getting ready for next season, huh, Coach?
Yes, sir, we are. I usually give them maybe about two weeks off, once the playoffs is over. And after that, we right back on the grind.
Yes, sir. Coach, you took the Bastrop Rams to the championship back in 2003. And since that time, you always wondered so what was the feeling of getting back to the championship with Marksville and this time winning the state championship?
Well, it had been so long, I was kind of doubting if I ever was going to get back. This was year 30 for me as in teaching. So, I mean, my window of opportunity was closing real fast. Couple other teams, we got to the quarterfinals, a couple times, but we just never really just got over the hump. And so I think like at Bastrop and here at Marksville, these are my longest two stints, staying at a job. I've been here 6 years. I was at Bastrop for 6 years, and I think that had a lot to do with, us making those runs. I mean, it gave me enough time actually to change culture.
Coach, when did you know or when did you get the feeling that this team you had this season was a special?
Well, when we started out last summer, I was looking at what I had. You know, I got number 3, Zachary Schuler. He moved in from Pineville. Just trying to implement him in with those other pieces I had already. You know, it kind of made us from not so much as a big team like I was the previous year. You know, I had a 6'8" guy, you know, that kind of, you know, we tried to play through him defensively wise. You know, his offensive skill set wasn't, you know, so great. So when I started looking at this team, you know, I was like, well, you know, I know we're going to defend well, but I just didn't know how we was going to score. Getting Zach from Pineville made us, I mean, he made us a little bigger, but he also had a skill set that could give us a lot of mismatch problems, you know, with some teams, you know, who had a bigger guy, you know, that just wasn't, you know, if he wanted to play inside, then Zach can play inside and outside. So a lot of times we would pull it out the big guy and we would create lanes and stuff for our other 4, you know, because all 5 of my guys could handle the ball pretty good. So that gave us a mismatch problem on the offensive end for those other teams. Now, as far as defense, we just scrappy. You know, we scrap, we take charges. You know, I mean, we take charges all night long. You know, I have 3 guys that don't mind stepping in front of somebody in harm's way and taking that charge. You know, as a matter of fact, I'll tell the referees before the game even start, we take a lot of charges, you know, just to get it on their mind. So, you know, whenever we taking them, that, you know, you don't think we just blocking or just, you know, taking, you know, minor contact. You know, that's a legitimate drill that we practice on regularly.
Speak of defense, and I want to go back to the fourth quarter for the championship. It's 59-59. You guys go on an 8-0 run, but the defense played so well during that run to help secure you guys a state championship. Talk about that run.
Well, you know, it was kind of going back and forth. You know, we'll make a little run, they'll make a little run, you know, and we got down to the end, you know, we just had to suck it up, buckle down, you know, and defend, you know, and, you know, that's one of our strong suits. You know, we got up 2 points, you know, and then, you know, we defend, we stopped them. So I kind of pulled it out a little bit, you know, and kind of run a different kind of little set at them, a little spread set, you know, Willie wasn't interested in scoring, but just was interested in making them defend, you know, just so, you know, they didn't have a lot of gas to go back on the other end, you know. So if we could do that and, you know, they started fouling, you know, and we went to the free throw line, started making our free throws, they go down and rush another shot, you know, we box out, get a rebound, and, you know, we doing this process again, you know, and it just worked out, you know. We got that little cushion from the free throw line. You know, it wasn't a lot of offense that we did in the last 2 minutes. You know, we played defense, we held our own, you know, defended, got the rebound, went down, and made them have to play the way we wanted to play. You know, if they didn't play right, you know, we'd just run the clock out. But, you know, they had to come and foul, you know, to give themselves a chance to go down to score. So, I mean, you know, we was defending, we was getting a rebound and going down, you know, in a little slower pace offensive game. And, you know, they realized we was milking the clock and they had to start fouling.
VK, the floor is yours.
Coach Perkins, appreciate you taking the time out and everything to join us. I know you had a lot going on last couple of weeks and everything. Yes. The atmosphere in that ball game was crazy on that Saturday, kicking off the day. And to me, in my opinion, probably the best game of the day because how both of your teams played, the intensity, and the crowd. What was your thoughts of that game? Because we knew Marksville was coming in deep, but Red River was deep too. And I mean, it was festive.
Look, all week long, you know, since we won that Tuesday and they won that Tuesday, the internet was off the chain. You know, between them going back and forth with our fans and our fans going back and forth with them, you know, they came up with all these slogans and sayings, you know, belt to ass, you know, it was just, I was just like, man, where are y'all getting this ammunition from, to set up this stage? But whenever we got to the game, and it, I really didn't ever look at the crowd because I was so focused on trying to make sure I did my job, that I really just didn't look up there. And by the time I really looked up there, it probably was about 50 seconds left in the game, and I just saw we had a wave of people, almost from the top to the bottom in one area. And I just, Marksville fans, they came out and supported at the Dome, a whole lot better than they have at some of our home games. I mean, I get on them about that all the time about, just supporting their kids, no matter how it turns out, because they're your kids, and I would tell those boys, your mom and daddy likes a winner too. I said, you are their kid, but they like a winner too. I just try to, stick it to them home, make it hit home, and what they're doing, but that was the greatest atmosphere, that I have been a part of, and playing besides, when I was at Ash, Ash Peabody rivalry game, it's wall to wall packed gym, but that one there, that one speak volume to me, the way that it worked out and the way it went down.
I think when you said that little phrase you said a couple seconds ago and everything, we seen somebody in the stands was doing what you just said, took a belt off and just like, what is you doing? And I'm like, oh my, I'm like, these fans are going all out. This is more like a Southern and Grambling or Alcorn State, Jackson State. It was crazy. And it's just something that me and Jared enjoyed because it was like this is great. And I'm like, when I told Jared this, I said, this is what happens when you have, like, no knocking it, two small town rivals, two small towns, and when they're successful, everybody comes out. It's a lot more support there than even our own city teams. It's a shame to say that, but it's true because it's not like what we grew up and the support around Metro New Orleans or around the Southeast Louisiana areas, maybe except for the river parishes and North Shore. Like, we had support everywhere. All of a sudden, that changed over the years. But when you go out there to all the parishes in Central Louisiana, and knowing people like Lamar Gafford and a whole bunch of other people that's from that area and covers it, and we've seen it and witnessed it ourselves. Central Louisiana is crunk, man. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, I mean, we had 3 state title winners this year too in my parish, so I mean, I don't know, I don't know, I just have never seen it like that. We was 17 and 16. We was like a bubble team, but we played such a tough schedule, we was kind of pretty much ready for anything, that anybody could throw at us. I mean, we seen the Peabodys, we seen the LCAs, we seen the Alexandria Senior High, Pinevilles, J.S. Clark, Vols Charter. I mean, we played pretty much any and everybody, they always say, Coach Perkins don't duck anybody, and that's the only way you're going to get better.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Right.
I gotta ask you, do you think this was like maybe one of the most amazing things that has ever happened in Central Louisiana? Because you have to think you're one of the regions that dominated the weekend. This has never happened. And then you think about it yourselves, and for the first time in years, Southeast Louisiana came up big with 3 titles. Second year in a row, they got 3 titles, but dominated the weekend with y'all guys. Do you think this is one of the biggest things that ever happened in Central Louisiana, especially in high school athletics?
Yes, it is. I mean, I can't recall a time in any sports where 3 teams from the same area, brought home a state title. I mean, I wouldn't, if I had to say this mid season, I wouldn't include myself in that because the way, we were just playing so inconsistent. It didn't get down to right to the end of the season, the regular season where we kind of jailed. And, and after that, we kind of just took off.
Very much agreed. Very much agreed. And you look at a history on both sides, like we mentioned, y'all area with those championships, and then you look at Southeast Louisiana, a lot of history with one school winning their fourth state title in 5 years, and then you a fourth state title in 6 years, and two other schools, one that won back to back, and another's won a second time three-peat in the history in their school. So it was a lot of stories going on both sides, and it's great to see one. And it kind of really felt good for me, Coach, because of the fact of the matter is we have seen Baton Rouge dominate the last 2 years.
Yes.
And no knocking Baton Rouge.
Right.
They are awesome. They
Right.
have an awesome area for
That's right.
basketball. It's shocking to me and JB that they only came out with one state title this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in our division, it was a toss up. I mean, to me, that 1 through 12 team, I thought any of them could beat anybody. I even thought 12 could beat 1. That's how, it would just seem like it was so evenly matched, throughout our division that, who'd have thought a six seed and Red River was a 13 or a 12 seed, wind up in the finals. That just show how evenly matched that our division was, not like the Peabody and Madison Prep where you kind of knew that was going to be the game. In our division, it was just like it was wide open, like you're in the wild, wild west at a shootout. It was amazing.
Very much so, and looking at that bracket and everything, we said, me and Jared said that this is starting to become the most wide open bracket.
Yeah.
Which do you think was more of the shocker with that bracket even before y'all won that state championship? Was it Rayville going down early?
Yes.
Or French Settlement losing in the quarterfinals?
Well, it was more Rayville losing to Vidalia. And I wouldn't have never thought that because of the rich history of Rayville. They usually are pretty good.
Yes.
And Vidalia went into Rayville and came out of there with a W.
And that was a crazy night in itself. And I was one of the ones that said Rayville, this might be their year. And we're just like, what in the world? And then quarterfinal night, we find out, French Settlement gone.
Yes.
What? So this is the stuff that we love, that we like. We know sometimes the top seeds, we always see that's some good basketball, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of love it when some of the top seeds go down and all of a sudden it's a wide open tournament.
That's right.
And anybody can win it. But you guys, looking at your schedule, you played the best of the best. But the positive thing, even though with the 17-16 record, is the fact you didn't have too many losing streaks. You guys maybe just lost one, lost one, won. You just stayed in the fold. Yeah. But I think a key was in your district when y'all wound up winning 6 out of 7 games to get y'all back in track. And then all of a sudden, y'all get the biggest win of the season against the Boyles Public Charter. And it looked like it gave y'all a lot of confidence going forward.
That's right. That's right. That was a big win because that's a rivalry game, actually, because we don't play each other but once a year. It's either, at my place one year and then it's at his place the next year. So, I mean, the build-up between those two teams, and if you only play each other one and both is pretty good, you're going to have a real good game. you know, wherever we at. So, you know, that's why we kind of set that up that way, you know, for money makers for each program each year. But you know, it's a real tough game.
Yes, yes, I completely understand. I know this it's really really tough. You guys just did not have a easy road at a six seed, and for y'all to get by a tough Richwood team, and then all of a sudden you go against Red River. I mean, it's very commendable the work you're doing. I want to ask you this also as well. Zachary Schuler, how he really stepped up in that championship to go out a state champion and with 19 points and 8 rebounds. And then also you got a great future on your hands with Devin Lavallee.
Yes.
20 points, 12 rebounds. And I mean you go with one person that leaves off a champion, and you can see after the game the emotions from him that it just didn't, you can see the tears in his eyes. It just didn't sink in until when the zeros came up that, oh my God, we didn't did it. We didn't got a championship in Marksville, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then you got all the other young players. What you can say about the moment, how both players, Lavallee and also your senior leader, Schuler, performed on that championship game.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Schuler. I got Schuler from Pineville. Schuler, Schuler was on the bench at Pineville for the last 3 years. You know, I don't know, you know, why, you know, or why he didn't play, some kind of, quality minutes, but he didn't play. So um he moved to Marksville, that's where his mom is originally from. I told her, I would take him, and I worked him, I scalded him, I cussed him, I even told him, at sometime when I got so aggravated with him, is this why you didn't play at your old school? I would try to find anything, that I could find to motivate him, because, he had a real chip on his shoulder too, because he had some confidence issues about whether or not if he could play or not. And the more and more he played, I kept telling him, Zach, we're going to have you to get to where we got to go. I mean, I just kept riding it on him, and his confidence just kept growing. He'll make a play here, he'll make a play there, to get some confidence, coming on into the home stretch. And by the time, we got down to those last couple of games, he was the difference maker. Now Lavallee's, he's been the man here from day one. In whenever he was in the 8th grade, he was all district on a varsity level. So, I mean, I knew what I was getting with Lavallee's from the get-go. I just needed another score to go with Lavallee's, and on top of the great defense we play, we could have a chance.
Man, that is amazing. How much you had, I don't think you lost too many seniors,
No, I only
right,
have
Coach?
two. I got Schuler and number 11, Marcus Price. Now Price will be a little bit more difficult to replace because he does a little bit of everything. He could be my second point guard at times. He's one of my top defenders at times. He's the one who takes most of those charges. He's pretty much my tough guy, in the paint. So Schuler came on late, but Marcus Price has been with me since his 7th grade, since the 7th grade.
Wow. And
So,
but regardless of the fact, you still have a lot of players coming back. The experience of this season, especially winning the title, I think that's something that's gonna really catapult and help your team next season. I know it's gonna take a lot of work, and I know your goal is to try to win, hopefully a second time next year. And I know you probably gonna schedule tough again to get them ready, right, Coach?
yes, sir, I will. And what I like about what happened at the end of this year, with us winning it, that gave me the kryptonite for the rest of them.
Mm.
We got this hardware sitting in this lobby in the trophy case. Oh, you don't want to play right? you don't want to do right, the proof is in the pudding right in your lobby that, if you suck it up and do what you're supposed to do, you can be a winner. It's kind of easy now. I kind of like, that we finally done broke through. Now, they can kind of see, all the hard work does pay off.
Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and
That's right.
I'm gonna let JB to close things out. Um, you know, when you look at what is the future in not just for Marksville going forward, but Central Louisiana overall athletics. What's the future here? Because it seems like things are continuing to get better and better in Central Louisiana.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of just putting in the work, is what makes it better. Kids are starting to buy in, but you got to win in order to get them to buy in, and that's what's happening. Peabody, instead of winning, they thought Peabody kind of was falling off, but look at here. They right back in it again and won it. The talent, the talent in that actual Rapides Parish is starting, to spread out, between all the schools. I mean, Ash is getting probably the top recruits in the area. Peabody's still getting their, feeder school, the lower third area, and it's tough, and they're closing down one other school in Rapides Parish. My alma mater, Bolton High School, won't have any more athletics, so that'll be a couple more athletes that get to divide between Alexandria and Peabody. So I mean, it's kind of like they're trying to make two dominant schools. I'm just wondering, are those schools going to grow so big that they're going to be 6A, the upper schools now, the 5A schools, and I think
Yeah.
Peabody basketball, won't have a problem playing in 5A. Ash is already playing at the top. It just, it's gonna be kind of difficult, for a title not to pass through Central Louisiana, and I got such a young team. I got some 6 and 7 graders like 6'1", 6'2" already. It's just a matter of time getting them in, and getting it to work out.
Coach Charles Smith actually, spoke very highly of you when we had him on our show about a couple weeks ago. And everything. He spoke highly of Coach Oki over at Boys Charter, and
Yeah.
also spoke highly about you as well. And he said y'all was pretty tight and whatever, but he said he was very, very happy for you to break through and win the state championship.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Smith was coaching back when I was in high school. I can remember Coach Smith game planning for me. I was a football player / basketball player. And a lot of times by the time we got to playing them, I hadn't really got my basketball legs up under me. So he'll be like, well, Perkins ain't gonna be shooting that good tonight. His legs are not, quite just ready yet. I think we could get him. So I've had dealings with Coach Smith from when I was in high school to when I started back coaching. Because when I graduated college, I went back to Alexandria and I coached at Bolton. And so we was in the same district. So we was going at it then. When I left Bolton and went to Bastrop, I made sure to put him on my schedule every year, because you have to play the best in order to see, exactly where your team, your team's at, and, just how willing they want it.
Jared.
Most definitely. Coach Perkins, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on winning the state championship, and good luck to you next season.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me. It's a great honor.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
That is Coach Perkins, head coach of Marksville Tigers. Now, VK, Marksville coming back with an experienced bunch. So is Red River, who they beat in the championship. We know French Settlement is going to be back. We know Donaldsonville is going to be back. This division may be the toughest division come next season. What do you think?
I think it is. I think it will be once. I think it will be this season. It was pretty. It wasn't a bad division at all. It's just the fact it became a little wide open in the postseason. So I really think that this division will be one of the toughest next year, especially with all those teams returning, and also Ridgewood was young themselves also, and we can't put and you can't leave out Rayville. You cannot leave them out. So
No.
it's just the fact. It's just the fact that this division will be, to be honest, looking at everything and all the returning players coming back for a lot of these teams. Division three non-select is going to be definitely one of the toughest classes, and I mean one of the toughest divisions in basketball next season because whoever wins that state championship might be maybe one of the best teams all around the state because of how good these teams are and how much they have coming back. Red River could be much better next year. Marksville could be much better next year. So this is how good that division is going to be. They could rematch next year, or you could have a Marksville defending their title against Fresh Settlement or against a Rayville or whatever it is. But we know that these teams going to have to earn their lunch to win that state championship in Division Three next year.
Without a doubt. And we talked about the three Central Louisiana champions that are from the same parish. It speaks a lot about the talent level in that area, especially at the three schools of Avoyelles Public Charter, Marksville, and of course, Peabody. It speaks a lot of what's going on in Central Louisiana, VK.
It speaks a whole lot. I mean, you just we talk with Lamar Gafford, we're talking with Brett McCormick and a bunch of people in Central Louisiana, and they cannot believe that that this has happened. They've seen these teams always there, always get so close, but the ceiling has been finally cracked, and it might be just the beginning. Might be just the beginning in Central Louisiana,
Might be, yeah.
and it ain't just Peabody, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't just Peabody, and it showed this year. So, well, we'll see what happens going forward. Because I tell you, it could happen in other sports as well. You know what I'm saying? Because baseball's going right now. They got a couple of good baseball programs doing very well in that area. So we're gonna hear a lot about Central Louisiana in the majority of the sports for years to come.
Without a doubt. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about NCAA tournament for a little bit, boys and girls, right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I am your host, my good friend VK Jones is watching us. Everybody watching on Twitter, Facebook. Thank y'all for joining us. I see the one and only Tori B. I see you, Tori B. You watching with us. I see you, Tori B. VK. VK. I want to start with the girls first. I want to start with the girls. I want you to give me some of your thoughts about the girls' March Madness right quick.
Oh man, I tell you, man, this has been a really good, intense tournament. somebody said on a post that the women's tournament is a bit better than the men's tournament, and you know, I'm gonna say this: the women's tournament has been really good. It's been really good. You know, the men is still very intense in itself. I can't say who's better because it just both of them has some kind of a flavor that's really, really good some way, somehow. You know, so but the women's tournament, we've seen some interesting little things. You look at last night's games and also from all the way to the first round, it's been some good stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen going forward. I know you was not happy with one game last night, and I know you was like full of vitriol. For me, I looked at that and I kind of agreed as well. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get it. I definitely get it because it's like, you know, it sounds like somebody put a little extra something in somebody's pockets last night. So put a little extra on the check. You know what I'm saying? But it, you know, and looking at some of the games last night, I think you look at what UCLA did last night was amazing. How they came back. Creighton really gave them a lot of hell, a lot of hell. They could have won that ball game last night.
Yeah.
But then you look at UCLA, no, not UCLA, but USC. Outstanding performance last night. Outstanding. Like I said before, I think USC has a strong case and a chance for them to get to the Final Four.
I'm going to start with the team that has looked the best so far in the tournament, and that is South Carolina. They have looked the best in the performance they put on North Carolina the other day. To me, spoke volumes. That spoke volumes to a high degree. And I just don't see South Carolina losing right now. But things can change. Things can change. LSU, you know, didn't like the way they played against Rice, and then Middle Tennessee. It's like the real LSU showed up in the second half. You know, that was the team I was expecting to see against Rice and Middle Tennessee the whole game. But what they showed in the second half is how they're going to have to continue to play throughout this tournament to have a chance to play for another championship. Tell you what, NC State and Tennessee was a good game yesterday, but to me, Stanford and Iowa State, that was one of the best games in this women's bracket so far. And that game went into overtime. Cameron Brink, the All-American, she fouled out, but Kiki Arafin stepped up for Stanford with 41 points to pull them through into the semifinals. And as you know, I have Stanford going to the Final Four. Shout out to Carol Lawson and Duke for what they did to the 2 seed Ohio State. That was the upset I didn't see coming. UConn pulled away from Syracuse late. And like you said, USC and Juju Watkins looking good. You spoke of UCLA already? Cool. Colorado, we saw them play LSU first game of the year, and here they are in the Sweet 16 going up against Iowa. Now, I'm sorry, but if any of you all watched the Iowa game last night, you know the refs helped them the whole game. I'm sorry. It was so one-sided. If the refs called a fair game, Iowa would not have won that game. They wouldn't have. That was, hey, Caitlin Clark is our biggest star. We got to get paid. As long as he's on TV, we making money. We gonna make these calls. And they were horrific calls. Just be fair and let the best team win it. Don't decide outcomes. And last night, those refs decided the outcome in the women's game. Iowa should not be in the Sweet 16. And like I said, I'm sticking to it. Iowa will not be in the Final Four. I'm sticking to that. And they shouldn't even be in the Sweet 16 after last night. Them refs helped them out crazy. It was all over Twitter. It was all over Facebook. I think the whole world saw that last night, DK.
I agree. As much as I love Caitlin Clark, there's just the fact that they was not playing fair last night. They really was not playing fair, and it's obvious. They made it obvious last night. They made it obvious that this is a setup. This is this, that, and the third last night. That kind of thing. Now I'm gonna say this. Don't be shocked. Colorado's gonna give Iowa hell. Don't be surprised.
Oh, they will.
Remember, they beat LSU in the season opener. They got some big wins on that
Yes, they
schedule.
did.
Colorado has a very
Yes,
good
they
point
did.
guard. So they got a good tandem in the backcourt. And I think they're going to give Caitlin some fits. I wouldn't be surprised. Iowa would get by, but Colorado, don't be surprised. They might pull something off. But we're going to see. Because like I said before, I don't think they're going to make it to the Final Four looking at their bracket. But if they some way, somehow get there, some way, somehow, it's almost like this could be Caitlin Clark's time. I don't know. But this is too tough of a challenge for them to overcome. So we'll see, but I ain't gonna lie. Trouble is gonna be looming. It's looming for Iowa coming up. We will see. But trouble's looming.
You got to credit West Virginia for the defense they played last night. It was good defense.
Yes.
Good defense they played on Iowa. Man, you limit Iowa to 64 points. You did pretty well.
Yes.
And you going up against the refs also. But I mean, I hate to see how that happened. I just hated it so much, man. I couldn't believe that these refs really got involved in this ball game to help a team win. Well, anyway, let's move along to the men right quick, VK. I'm gonna go first. UConn is still my favorite to win it all. I just don't think there's a team better than UConn, but they're going up against a San Diego State team, and I think San Diego State's going to give them a little bit of a run for their money. But I see UConn pulling it off. Illinois and Iowa State. I think Iowa State pulls through. We go to the West bracket, North Carolina and Alabama. I think this goes down to the wire, but I do think UNC pulls it off. And Clemson, man, this Clemson team didn't woke up for this tournament, man. My good gosh. I decided to wake up for the tournament. Clemson and Arizona. I think Arizona gets through. Tennessee, Creighton. I know you love some Creighton right now. I know you do. But they going home. Tennessee. Tennessee gonna move on. Purdue, Gonzaga, by Gonzaga. That's the Midwest and the South. Houston and Duke. Hey, man, Duke looking like a Coach K team right now, man, on what they're doing. But I think Houston's going to pull through in that one. NC State, Marquette. I think Marquette pulls through. But what are some of your thoughts? Because usually we'll have a Cinderella team here in this Sweet 16, and we really don't. We really don't. You can't say San Diego State because San Diego State was a Final Four team last year, correct?
Yes, it was, and they are a 5 seed this year.
Yeah.
But this is a trend that we have not seen in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time, maybe in about 10 something, maybe 15 years, you notice a big trend. The only double-digit seed that has made the Sweet 16 is what? Well, actually, nobody. When you look at it, like first time
NC State.
NC State, yes. Thank you. NC State, the only double-digit seed to make the Sweet 16. This is the first time in years we only had one double-digit seed that made the Sweet 16. Maybe for the first time in 20 or 30 years, all the fives won the 5-12 battle. Who has ever seen that? I have never seen, and it's been a long time, we have seen an NCAA tournament that has been totally chalk. Totally chalk. Unexpectedly chalk. The reason why it's like, oh my God. We thought that, okay, it's going to be dead in the first round. No way. Well, some of the teams we thought was going to go did go. Some of the teams we thought was going to go didn't. Great example, Duke, making a run there in the Sweet 16. We look at Tennessee, overcame a lot of things, made it to the Sweet 16. You look at how Houston stepped their game up, and they won in a shootout in overtime.
Almost gave it away, though.
Almost gave it away. And they get by Texas. Houston gets by Texas A&M. So you look at all these scenarios, and then also, what about the Clemson Tigers? What in the blue blazes is going? What kind of elixir they drunk? What kind of elixir they drunk? Because this is one of the most helter-skelter teams in the nation. One of the most inconsistent teams. They had a great start and went on a free fall. Barely made the tournament. And now they're in a Sweet 16. Like, it's almost like if you got some good some good stuff you like to smoke, and you think it wasn't gonna be good and turned out to be good. Oh God, he's like, you must have, you got ripped out. No, I didn't get ripped off. This is actually good. Like, really? So I don't know what happened. Whoever bet that money on Clemson is getting major paid right now. They get major paid because nobody thought Clemson was going to be here. But it's amazing that it's chalk. And I never see this day that we would see chalk in the men's side of the tournament. Arizona proved me wrong. Congratulations. They're in the Sweet 16. Now let's see if you can get to the Elite Eight. North Carolina, this starting to remind me of their last national championship with Joel Berry because of how inconsistent a little bit that team was, especially with Kennedy Meeks. And then all of a sudden they come alive. And what happened in the Final Four? Kennedy Meeks became a man and they won the national championship. So we know what Armando Baycott can do. And he's not Kennedy Meeks because he does step up at times. We talk about everybody else. And what would be something else if Arizona and North Carolina meets? It did meet.
Yeah.
It did meet. UNC, I want you to lay waste on those Wildcats. Lay waste. Caleb Love should be destroyed.
Why is that? Caleb Love, huh? Caleb Love. Yeah.
All I'm gonna tell you, destroyed. Wow. I'm sorry. Caleb Love is awesome.
Are you mad because Caleb Love left?
No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because Caleb Love left. Caleb Love was trash last year. Trash. After the year before. The year Carolina was supposed to make a move for the title and had the worst season maybe in the history of the school. And what Caleb Love does? Not a damn thing. And then he leaves the school. No, you don't need a school like that. I'm not mad he left the school. I'm mad you left the school and you ain't did a goddamn thing to prove. Like, if you left that year and you had a good year Carolina and you leave, I wouldn't feel this better. I'll be like, okay, cool, you gotta do what you gotta do. Be like the other transfers who left. Okay, fine. Go ahead
and that's how you go.
It was
just wasn't
weird.
working.
But you don't come out and slap Carolina in the face knowing you ain't did a damn thing at the school.
How you slap him in
No.
the face?
Huh? No,
How
I'm
did he slap
saying
him
like
in the face?
no, I'm just saying like no, I'm not. I'm gonna rephrase that. Let me phrase that for a second. Now, not gonna say he slapped his face. I'm saying like this: that he right now having a good year. I don't like all the hype they got on this man, knowing that plain and simple, he didn't do a damn thing the year before. So, for that being said, the great justice is okay. You want to do all that for Arizona and stuff like that? Let the team, let the hand that feeds you destroy you where you stand. And that's why life is. You got to be careful sometimes. And that's just what it is, man. Like, I wish the kid great success. I wish him great success going forward. But as a Carolina fan, knowing you ain't done nothing to try to follow up one of the greatest, maybe 2 wins in the history of the program, man, look, it's I'm like this, bro. I wish him the best. When it come down to Carolina, we take our pride serious and we win. And it's time for that get back. That's just all it is. All I know, it's not as I'm like this. For Caleb Love, this is not as personal as with you're not Rashad McCants. Rashad McCants forever will never considered as a UNC Tar Heel. Never.
Oh man. Oh man. You had to bring Rashad McCants back up for what he said, huh?
Man, writing a freaking book on, dude, you gonna really bite the hand that feeds you, dog? This what we freaking doing? Come on, bro. I'm sorry. I will never respect a person like you. A snitch to me. You out the game, brother. Sorry. I no wonder
Boy, Rashad McCants.
no wonder Gilbert Arenas saved his freaking career, put him on a damn podcast.
Oh, Rashad McCants, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What could you say about Mr. Rashad McCants?
but I really
But
think
can't wait till Thursday.
yeah, can't wait. Cannot wait.
Can't wait till Thursday, man. The games get started once again. I'm gonna let y'all know with 10:40 left in the fourth, the Pelicans are down to OKC 96-90.
Oh boy.
Trying to hold that 4th seed, but man, got some tough games coming
This,
up in the 6-game home
and
stretch. Got some tough
and
games
this is
coming
the
up.
games here. And I understand the Pelicans are playing great. Am am I feeling I'm not I'm keeping even keel because my thing is this. Okay, it's good the Pelicans. Yay, yay. This is the time. Show me that you that team. Show me.
No BI.
I don't
No
care they
BI.
got no BI. Show me.
No
Show
BI.
me. I don't care you got no BI. Show me. If you're forced, if
I'm
you
like this.
even with BI, Jared, my
You're
thing,
not at full strength.
it don't listen.
And you could say BI is the best player on that team. You could say
But
that.
how in the world they played so much better on the road and got them 2 huge wins on the road without him? Like it just tells me
We talking.
we're not talking
We
about the
talking like
Pistons.
that was 2 horrible teams. It's 2 horrible teams.
Wait.
What you talking about?
Wait. Did they beat what was one of the team who they beat? I know Detroit, they were supposed to beat Detroit. There was another team that who they beat that was like they played really tremendous last week. That we wouldn't think that they put the beating on them like we know Brooklyn's terrible. There was another team they beat that was
So they beat the Pistons. Beat the Pistons. BI got hurt against the Magic, and then they went and played the Miami Heat.
that was a
And the Heat.
that was a tremendous
Yeah,
win.
the Heat was AC, made a run, but right now the Heat, they not top 6, 7, 8 in the East.
But you know what they do. Come on, bro. You know how Miami is. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
When the playoffs
Thank
start.
you.
When the playoffs
Thank
start.
you.
This ain't playoffs.
I don't take them lightly. Like, remember, they made a nice little streak not too long ago. So I'm saying the Heat, that like I still say it is there. I don't care what anybody say. Last season, the greatest 8 seed ever, and I'm gonna still stick to it because I'm sorry, that is just unprecedented what they have done. It's just that just shows
You still saying that's the greatest 8 seed over the New York
you got
Knicks?
doggone right. I'm still saying it. I'm still sticking to it.
No.
I'm still sticking to it.
Gosh.
But you have to think, bro. I understand where you're coming from with that, but deep down, Jared, come on. The Knicks had 4 number 1 picks in the draft with playoff experience and finals experience. The Heat didn't hardly have that and had what? A bunch of 10-day contracts with Beyond?
Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler went to the finals in 2020. Talking about
That was the you talking about 3 people that have been in the finals in a bubble year for one. But for two,
that's experience, right?
It is. I'm not discounting that. I'm saying it is, but at the same time, you think, but you had to think the draft picks on those guys. Adebayo was the highest draft pick on that team. Jimmy Butler was a second rounder, comparing to 4 number 1s, and then Tyler Hero and what they were like. Tyler Hero's late draft pick. No, it was the second round. Tyler Hero's.
I think he was a rookie that year. He was a rookie that year. So Tyler Hero first round. He was first round.
Tyler Hero's first round. That was the only. He was on the first rounder. So out of them 4, he was on the first rounder, and then Duncan Robinson was what, a late rounder. Then all these other draft picks, what them other point guards was like. What the point guard from last year, he signed a 10-day contract and went beyond that. So what that freaking tell you? It tells you something. It tells you it ain't the fact that the Knicks had. I'm saying the Knicks had way more talent than these cats.
Way more
talent and experience combined.
But who was missing from the New York Knicks? Who was missing?
You talking about
who didn't play at all the playoffs and the finals? The AC. Who did not play at all in the playoffs?
Talking about Patrick Ewing?
Patrick Ewing, the best player on the team, did not play the playoffs or the finals. They were winning without him because he was hurt. That makes it even better.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
No, it don't. Best player wasn't there. Your best player
the best player wasn't missing. But at the same time, the Knicks had to go through a 5-game series to get by. And the Heat had to go through 7 against an 8 seed and had to get by a play-in to get in. And not just the fact
play-in regardless.
No, but here's the thing. The Knicks won that series in 5. The Heat won that.
In both elimination games, it doesn't matter. That was the rules then, and the rules changed now. Let's make the first round 7 games to make more money in the playoffs. That's why that rule was made. But you can't get mad at that.
Well, no. I ain't mad at that. No. The Heat won that first round series in 5. A 7-game series, the Heat and the Bucks, that ended in 5, 4-1. Come on, bruh. They took 5 games in a 7-game series to eliminate the 1 seed. To eliminate.
So it don't mean nothing. Dude, the Knicks and the Heat at the time was the biggest rivalry in the NBA.
Do the math.
The biggest rivalry in the NBA. We're talking Hardaway. We're talking PJ Brown. Alonzo Mourning. We're talking I think Jamal Mashburn was still there. We're talking
prior to
Sprewell, Larry Johnson, Marcus Camby, and there's no Patrick Ewing.
Still a more talented team than the Heat. Sorry. Just not buying it. It's just the fact
Yeah,
this Heat
totality is
team,
still the best run.
this Heat team beat the 1 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks, who had a very good and loaded team who broke a franchise record for wins. And for them to possibly get in a position to win it all, to me, the only team that had a chance to take down the Boston Celtics in the East. And what happened? The Miami Heat not just took them out, and beat them in 4 games, beat them in 5. And some of those games, they handled them. It's just like, and we talk about even one game, the elimination game. With now, I understand that the Greek Freak was a little hurt, but even when he played in Game 5, it still wasn't enough. They took him out.
And Pat Ewing missed the entire playoffs.
Oh,
No
no
Pat
Pat
Ewing.
Ewing. Okay.
No Pat Ewing to go up against David Robinson and Tim
Okay.
Duncan.
Yes, it's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna stick with what I'm stick with. That's not changing my mind. I'm sorry. You just now I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? We need to put a
You
we
had it to big
we
for
need to
years.
we should have put a poll up and try to see who how many would believe one of our arguments. But I think it's kind of too late to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wish we can put a poll up and say who is the best 8 seed ever between the Knicks and the Miami Heat of last year. You know what I'm saying? But you stated your case. I stated my case, and I'm gonna stick with mine. And I'm just sorry. I like I'm not discounting what the Knicks did.
You gotta be sorry. You
I'm
gotta be
not
sorry.
discounting what the
I ain't
Knicks
sorry.
did. The Knicks, that was awesome what they did. But when you do, to me, what trumps things to me, when you do things with less, that really trumps over anything. Because if you just like you working with just this and you get that and you beat them, I'm like, bro, I'm like, this one is like this is more better than that right there. Because I'm like, but it's apples and oranges. It's generations and generations. But regardless of the fact that it's just going to be the fact that the NCAA basketball. Well, what I just say? Oh, we're talking about the NBA. Pelicans this week. Pelicans this week. Like I mentioned, even without Bi, this is a time they have to prove themselves. And I think they're gonna need him, but I think this is a week that they need some wins against some really good opponents to show that they are for real, that they are ready for this playoff run, that they're ready to go on a deep run and everything else. If they want a chance, and I'm not saying that they're a finals team, I just want the Pelicans to make a good push to show that they're here, that they're here now, and they're here years to come. I would love the Pelicans to get to at least to the conference finals, just to say, hey, we're here. We know we have to work on. We're definitely can make a run to the finals. Not this year to the finals, but I would love for them to get to the conference finals. That'll make a lot of progress to the Pelicans in itself. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I want to see this week with these 6 huge games here for the Pelicans. Like you don't have to win all 6, but at least go 500 or go 4-2, just to say, hey, the Pelicans are really here. So I like what they make the run in, but I want some win against winning team. That's been the only problem with the Pelicans. We need wins against winning teams. We need to show that we can compete with anybody.
Well, I want to say this right now, 104 to 103, Thunder over Pelicans with 6 minutes left. The Pelicans plays the Milwaukee Bucks on Thursday, and then on Saturday they will host the Boston Celtics. So I heard people saying that tickets are low as $8 right now. Like a lot of people not going to the games. And look, everybody, you have a winning product right now. Get out and support the Pelicans. Most definitely. Dame Lillard come to town Thursday. I'm an $8 ticket.
That sounds like an interesting plan. I'm like this, man. I'm like, you thinking about going?
I will let you know. I'll let you know for sure.
That sound
Thursday,
this
7 o'clock. I
does it
will let you know.
sound like a plan, because I don't have nothing till
You
I
might do
have
that.
nothing till Friday with baseball Friday and Saturday. So, you know, I'll take advantage of the $8 ticket. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go out there and support.
Yeah.
But I definitely get the fans. I kind of get it a bit because, like I said, they want to see them beat a winning team. So that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
If you can, like, if they could get some wins, if they beat Milwaukee, they're definitely coming for the rest of the homestand because they're gonna see. Oh man, they beat a good team. We gotta go see him. We gotta go see him. It's the fact what you done for me lately. They want to
Yep.
see more. That's all it is. But I would like to be there Thursday night. I'll just see how everything goes. Just keep me posted.
Most definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our show. We are back here tomorrow night. We will have the Brother Martin Crusaders cornerback, one and only Trayshawn Ware, joining us tomorrow night on the show. Talk about his career, how he loved it at Brother Martin, things like that. So make sure you all tune in tomorrow right here at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. VK, any last words?
Man, appreciate y'all joining us, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been good to do this show and everything else. We might have another guest tomorrow. We'll let you know. But at the same time, man, continue to support the Hash It Out show. Continue to, what I'm saying, log on and share and comment, all that, man. We've been hitting it, man. We've been hitting it. We're on baseball now and everything else. So continue to support us. Shout out to the Curtis family. I was out there covering Brother
Yes.
Martin and John Curtis, and John Curtis got the win this afternoon, 7-2, and a huge victory. A lot of emotion after the game, especially with Coach Jeff Curtis and everything. After he had to bury his mom, JT Curtis's wife, and everything else. So things are going good with them. I talked with JT, I talked with the brothers and everything, and they appreciate the support. Continue to pray. Continue to support the Curtis family and the John Curtis family and the Curtis family itself because they really need it. So continue to pray for them.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Continue to pray for him. Also, everybody, keep the Barretto in your prayers. We lost a good guy the other day by the name of Radel Estrada. I know his family. I know him. Always had a smile when you talk to him. Always smiled. 20 years old, gone too soon, man. So, man, keep the Barretto and Estrada family in your prayers, ladies and gentlemen. So, but
Yes, sir.
that being said, that is as VK Jones. I'm JB, the sports guy. We're right back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock, with Trayshawn Ware of the Brother Martin Crusaders. Make sure you all are back here tomorrow night watching the show. Tell your friends, tell your families, share it, put it all out there. We want everybody watching the show, and we want y'all to make this the best sports show in all of Louisiana. We're back here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Till then,
Crusader fans,
y'all
come on
take
through.
care.
My name is Trayshawn Ware. I'm a DB for Brother Martin Crusaders, and you're watching the Hash It Out Show.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.